And why don't we start with Beck? Morning Phase, Beck's Grammy Award winning, Album of the Year winning,
Yeah.
most recent album came out in 2014,
Yeah.
I believe.
And then it won the Grammys like about exactly a year later. So like the 2015
Yeah.
Grammys was when he won.
When he invited Kanye West up on stage with him, when Kanye joked about going up.
Yeah, Beyonce, man, she got robbed.
Uh,
I
it's
don't think
funny
she got
that
robbed.
no, I don't think so either. And she didn't she win last year, right? Lemonade won last year.
No, fucking Adele won.
Oh, that's right, Adele won. That's funny.
Lame as fuck.
Adele's such a goddamn powerhouse when it comes to the Grammys.
I know. Also, hot
Um,
take: Adele is a singles artist.
yeah,
Just gonna leave
sure.
that there.
I don't think her albums are that cohesive. But anyways, jumping back to Beck, Morning Phase is a very
No.
subdued, small album, very quiet, a lot of acoustic, which is interesting because Beck, when he started out back in, we broke out '94, what kind of was this funny, but yeah, I don't know. He was just very outgoing, very unique. He had a crazy kind of sound and songwriting style. And then he went on to do all this other stuff. Like he created this band, and when he would perform, they would have choreographed dances and became very glitzy and glammy, and they would change to more classic rock sound. So he really likes to experiment. But Morning Phase was a very subdued album, but the one that gained him probably the most critical attention. Here he is, 2017 with Colors. And Dave, what were your initial thoughts listening to this album?
Yeah, so I didn't really know what to expect because similar to what you were just saying. I mean, if you look up things about Beck, they don't really know how to classify his genre
Right.
because he's been around and he's done so much. So he's like a multi-instrumentalist. And I think that's what's so great about Morning Phase is that he made the album himself, right? Like he did all
Right.
the production and all the instruments and obviously the singing. So
Mm-hmm.
he's an incredibly talented guy. So I didn't really know what to expect from the sound, but Colors, 40 minutes and it was just really poppy. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
really joyful, lively pop rock.
Yep.
And I thought it was it's a nice, joyous listen.
Yeah, it's anchored by the singles that people have probably heard over the last 2 years, "Dreams" and "Wow," which "Wow" was everywhere. It was in a commercial that I heard all the time.
Yeah, I mean that song. When I listened to the album, my ears popped like, oh yeah, this is old, isn't it? Like I'm not a Beck guy, but I'm like I know this is old, and yeah, it's almost a year and a half old. It was last summer.
Yep.
So
yeah, and "Dreams" came out 2 years ago.
Oh wow, so he was literally pulling a Drake and putting Hotline Bling on the album to get those streams up.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is he not only put a mix of Dreams on there, but then he actually ended the album with Dreams. All right,
that's come on, that's you're a little too pro to do that in my opinion.
I agree, but I agree with your initial take with being very poppy album. Songs like Seventh Heaven sound very 80s ish. Dear Life kind of had this older school pop vibe from the 60s or 70s. Yeah, I mean it's a really fun album and it's way more accessible than Morning Phase, which I mean Morning Phase is really you wake up, make a pot of coffee and sit down, listen to it. This is something you'd actually dance to and want to enjoy.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you have any song off the album other than the singles that seemed to really catch you?
I mean, not really. I think but it just flow together. So I think that's why nothing besides singles I'd recognize jumped out. But I mean, I didn't think there was much of a low point. I thought it moved pretty briskly, and again, it's upbeat, so it's fun to listen to.
Yeah, Colors and Seventh Heaven were the first two songs were really stood out to me. Also, shout out to his producer, who we mentioned also produced the Foo Fighters album. His name is Greg Kurstin. Yeah, Greg Kurstin. This was recorded at his studio in LA, and he seems to be an up and coming rock pop influence in producing. So someone I have a feeling we'll be talking a lot more about. But I'd give this a solid B+ for an album. And Beck is he makes quality stuff all the time.
So I mean, it's very poppy, but in terms of like the rock releases of the year, this is probably towards the top, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're going to talk about St. Vincent, who I thought also had a really strong showing, but um,
Yeah,
sorry,
nice.
the alarms behind me going crazy. Um, but I thought LCD Sound System had a really strong
Yeah,
one this year. Slow Dive is someone I haven't listened to yet, but I heard was pretty good. White Reaper as well.
you like this more than Foo Fighters and Killers, which you kind of gave, passing marks to.
Yeah, I would say that this is up there along with like Bleachers and maybe even Phoenix. Like Phoenix's album is
Nice.
one I have to go back and listen to, but I really enjoyed that one. So yeah, it's definitely up there. It'll probably make one of my best of lists for the year.
Yeah, it definitely belongs with Phoenix and Bleachers and LCD in terms of just like the dancier,
Yeah.
more lively rock. Which, I mean, we've talked about rock a lot, but I think that's kind of a sound that's more appealing to more people. Whereas, I mean, it's not Queens of the Stone Age. It's a little more accessible. So
Yeah, it's just
interesting choice.
more enjoyable for sure.